Hi, this tarot reading for the next 2 weeks will be for the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So if you are a Scorpio Sun or a Scorpio Moon or a Scorpio Rising sign, this reading can apply to you. My name is Mo, and I just want to say, if you don't happen to know what perhaps you know what your sun sign is. That's why you're watching this Scorpio tarot reading video. But if you want to watch my other videos in regards to your moon sign or your rising sign, perhaps your moon sign is separate. Well, it's probably separate from the Scorpio sign, and your rising sign could be different as well. You could always go ahead and watch the other videos that could possibly apply a little bit to what you're experiencing now, or have been experiencing and will be experiencing within the next 2 weeks or so. This is a general reading, so it might not, like, the specific details that might come out might not apply to you specifically, but hopefully you can get some sort of insight into possibly yourself. So I have my deck of cards that I will be drawing 3 cards from for each subject. And I have a deck of clarifying cards for if we need more information in regards to the information that's being given from the main deck. So for Scorpio, if you don't, like I said, if you don't know your sun, moon, or rising, Scorpio, you can always type in a free birth chart generator or free birth chart, free astrological birth chart into the search bar online, and you will probably come up with 1 or 2 or maybe more websites where you can put in your information and they will generate a birth chart for you for free, so you can actually find out what your moon sign is and what your rising sign is, which is actually quite important as well, because it also lends a lot to discovering your character and what makes you tick. So as I said, my name's my name's Mo. I don't know what's wrong with me today with the name Moo, but anyway. So we are going to be dividing this tarot reading for you Scorpios into 6 categories. The first one I have is mentally. It's in regards to thought life. Like, I can't get any more specific than that, but in the reading it might for each subject matter. The second is physically, which is more to do with health. The third is emotionally, which is feelings. The fourth is spiritually, which is in regards to your soul. Intellectually is the fifth, with a lot of planning involved, mental planning and stuff like that. And financially is the 6th category in this reading for you, and it's in regards to money and career, and the subject of money and career. So bear with me, Scorpios, please, because I'm new to your energy. I'm not a Scorpio myself. So I usually do pick a cards, and right now when I'm looking down, I'm shuffling the cards. But I usually do pick a card readings for tarot as well as other different kinds of videos. So for me, doing zodiac sign specific readings is actually quite eye-opening to see the energy. But I have noticed that the energy for all the signs that I've done so far is quite consistent with what the Spirit is showing people at this time. So Scorpio is a water sign, if you didn't already know. Okay, so for mentally, we have the 5th card in the Major Arcana, the Hierophant. The second card for mentally we have for you Scorpios is the 4 of Pentacles. The third card we have for you mentally for Scorpios is the 5 of Swords. I have seen a lot of this card in the past few readings. It's interesting to see that a lot of people are going through confusion at this time. I see cherish in this card. Cherishing the things that you have in your life, Scorpio. Thinking about the structure of your life with the Hierophant card. So this has to do with your mental situation for the next 2 weeks, and sometimes the cards will give me insight into how you've been feeling. I do feel, Scorpio, a lot of love mentally for you, because with the Four of Pentacles, I am really feeling like a sense of love and cherishing, really being appreciative. But I don't know, I don't feel any negativity, to be honest with you, mentally, Scorpios, which I'm kind of surprised about. I wasn't expecting that. But with the Five of Swords, it's not to say that you haven't had a hard time, because the Five of Swords means that you have been dealing with difficulties. As you see, this card is also based on confusion, with the swords being mentally, because the swords are a suit that symbolizes the mind. I'm just looking at the cards a little more clearly. I see fish in this card with the Hierophant. With the structure card, emotionally, I feel like you're feeling, questioning your emotional stability, perhaps. So maybe you've been thinking a lot about the emotions that you've been going through. And because of the fact that you've really had to deal with a lot of emotions over the past little while, you've really cherished those things that you have in your life that have really allowed you to feel a sense of stability. The next category for Scorpio is physically, so health-wise. Excuse me. I just ate breakfast. And the whippersnapper was going, so I had to wait for that to stop. Physically, for health, we have the Queen of Swords. I see determination in this card physically. There's a lot of determination energy here. Scorpio, physically, Knave of Chalices. A lot of darkness in this card. I don't know what that means physically. We might have to draw another card to clarify, but until we, unless we find another card here that kind of explains that. Physically, the Nine of Wands for health for Scorpio. Sorry, I'm just going to blow out the candle. Queen of Swords. So determination. Okay, so maybe you've been going through a sort of, with the Knave of Chalices, a sort of dark path emotionally, but you've been determined to get through it. And I see that physically and health-wise. With your determination, your willpower has succeeded in allowing you to prevail physically. Let me just get a clarification card. Physically. Okay, the Three of Wands. You were waiting for this to happen. You were waiting for this to happen. And the Star card, so like the Star card is it seems like a complicated card, but I really feel like innovation with this card. And it's interesting because Pisces kind of had the same kind of journey where I don't think Pisces saw it coming that they would feel like they were having more of an innovative transformation. But with you, I feel like you saw it coming, like you were waiting for this transformation to arrive with your health. And so perhaps this isn't so much physical, although you have been determined physically, Scorpio, to get through the darkness with the Knave of Chalices. So, and you have succeeded in your willpower to get through that. But you were expecting to see a transformation come in your mind. You knew that if you forged ahead, and you almost felt like you didn't really have any other choice but to, you know, be determined and to be brave and to press on, which is actually really, really amazing of you, Scorpio, because I know your motto is I desire. And so perhaps this is what you were desiring, was a change of outlook on life and more of like a sense of being in touch with your intuition. So I do see that your mind is really being enlightened. I feel like your mind actually really does reflect on your health for sure, physically, Scorpio. I don't see exactly what you can expect in your body, but with the Nine of Wands, I do see a lot of willpower. So whatever you, you know, whatever you, and there's a lot of determination in the Knave of Chalices as well, with the Queen of Swords as well, a lot of bravery. So if you are, you know, wanting to improve your physical health, not just your mental health, I think that would be a good idea for you right now, to be honest. I think that especially with the star being the fact that your mind is becoming more innovative, perhaps you could think of new ways of how you could improve your health physically, whether that be through diet, your nutritional intake, or your physical activity, Scorpio. The third category for Scorpio is emotionally, so in regards to your feelings. So for feelings, again, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is really cherishing your feelings. I love when there's the consistency with the cards through the readings for the signs, because it really reminds me that even though there are different categories in regards to a person's life, it's really all those categories that make up the individual. So it's not like your separate parts are different from your whole. So emotionally, Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords. I just want a clarification card, because I don't want to start to explain this without a little more clarification for your emotional situation, because we are talking about, you know, the past a little bit, but mostly what you can expect also within the next couple of weeks for Scorpio. Nine of Wands. I'm not going to explain it yet, because you do have the Three of Swords. Emotional. Chariot. Let's try to explain your feelings, your emotional situation for the next 2 weeks. I see a childlike innocence emotionally here for you, Scorpio. Water signs are very beautiful signs. I never really knew that about Scorpio so much, but it's interesting how you can start to understand the signs a little bit more when you read for them. So I feel like this is your character, very gentle, very compassionate, maybe maybe sometimes a little bit too compassionate, to the point where you allowed yourself to get hurt. And with the Three of Swords, there's a lot of pain in this card. So we're talking about emotional, a lot of pain in that card. Nine of Wands is very much a defensive card. Perhaps you have been feeling very defensive based on, with the Three of Swords, the pain that was caused to you. Maybe you think it's because you were a little too naive. But I just want you to know that it's not that you're naive, it's that you see things in a childlike way, which is actually a really beautiful way to see things, Scorpio. And actually, even though, you know, you may see that as a downfall, that is what's going to move you forward in life emotionally. With the Chariot, really reaching places that you never thought you would go, just based on moving through your pain, especially in the next 2 weeks. You know, it's okay to be defensive when you've been hurt, but you will reach high heights. You know, it's okay to be defensive. I think that's what you really need to know right now, is that emotionally maybe you're on the defense, Scorpio. You're very intelligent people though, so it's not that you're not going to reach new heights, even though you are putting your guard up. But keep your childlike innocence and be in touch with, you know, yourselves emotionally. You know, even children get hurt. So it's not that this is what's caused you to get hurt. It's not that you've been hurt because you've been innocent. It's mostly just because that's the way the world is. So don't be hard on yourself emotionally. The next category for Scorpio, spiritually. So soul-wise, okay, the Queen of Swords, again, a lot of bravery. Oops. Bravery. Knave of Chalices. Dark Night of the Soul, I feel. And the Knight of Chalices. I see progression for your soul. The thing that I put with the soul was spiritual, so a lot of progression spiritually, which actually ties in with your other little bit of the reading at the very beginning, where we were talking about you moving to new heights and thinking in a more innovative way. So they're all connected, really. I mean, as you know, I did say that although there are many parts to a person, it's really all the parts that make up the whole. I'm seeing with the Knave of Chalices for your soul, really an innocence, which really surprises me, and I'm not sure why. And I guess it's because, honestly, I was really hurt by a Scorpio, and so I always thought that male Scorpios were horrible people. But it's interesting how we can always, you know, the first impression we have of somebody really taints the way we look at everyone else in those situations. But I see a lot of individuality with this card, with the Knave of Chalices, a lot of forward movement emotionally. So we are talking about your soul and spiritually right now, but emotionally too, moving forward. And I feel like when you move forward emotionally, it's actually a really good thing, because sometimes it's better to move forward than to go back. And so one thing that I do remember someone saying was that if you need to go back, it's the best thing to do to go back is to rethink or to use it as a springboard. I think Tarot Zam actually said that. Tarot Zam, TAROTZAMM. She's here on YouTube. So for your soul, yeah, let's get back to the soul and the spiritual. I see a lot of letting go of emotions spiritually, though what does that mean? Let's get a clarification card. Eight of Pentacles. So a lot of hard work spiritually. Okay, I do see that that's something that will be for the future. With the Eight of Pentacles, a lot of hard work spiritually. I think you're happy about that, because I feel like you think that the journey was over spiritually, and you kind of felt like a loss because you thought, how much, you know, I can't go anywhere else. And it's like this person is kind of like turning away from what will get him further. But with the Eight of Pentacles, there's still a lot of work to be done spiritually. Intellectually, Scorpios. I just want to, I sometimes get afraid that if I don't shuffle them enough, I might get the same cards without intending to get the same cards. But you know, the thing is, if you follow spirit, really, you don't ever have to question yourself to the point where you have to doubt yourself, unless you feel like doubting yourself is a way to transform, you know. Scorpios. So this one popped out for planning. The Ace of Pentacles. Hey, I kind of want them all to pop out at me so that I don't have to pick them, I'm afraid, right now. I don't know why. So planning for Scorpios. So that includes your intellectual abilities, right? Because when you're planning, you're using your mind, your intellectual capacity. We're going to take these two. Okay, the Empress. The Empress. And the World for planning. Looking ahead, okay, Ace of Pentacles, planning ahead. So I do see that that's something that you will be focusing on for the next 2 weeks. Definitely planning ahead. Almost like, how can you conquer the world type thing. I feel like you have a lot of strength, intellectually speaking, in the next 2 weeks, which is something for you Scorpios to look forward to for sure. You're using your on top of the world sense of being in the next couple of weeks, and you're really looking deeply into you know, everything that you cherish, everything that you've worked hard to receive, looking forward, despite the pain that you've been through. It's always about moving forward for sure. It's about seeing things from a different perspective. So planning, but keeping in mind your new perspective, and also remembering who you are intellectually. And the next is financially. Money and career. For money and career, we have the Hierophant, which is interesting because we had that for mentally as well, and it was about structure financially. So there's structure financially with the Hierophant. We had the World with intellectually. So you're planning your finances, you're structuring your finances, perhaps making a budget, recalculating how you spend, but also with the Emperor, remembering your abundance, always knowing that you're abundant. So that's it. I know there wasn't a lot of detail in that reading, but I really do feel like that's the way Spirit wanted it for you Scorpios today. And thank you for your amazingly peaceful energy, Scorpios. I'm blown away. I hope that that's something that you can always retain, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.